I'd like to begin this video by saying Xbox is doing better than it ever has. Xbox is selling more than it ever has in Japan. Xbox is doing much better than Xbox ever has, okay? But I want to be real here, because for some time now I've been thinking that this supply constrained chip shortage thing is really not giving us an indication of what is actually going on out there in the market when it comes to console gaming and console system sales. And when systems are available, when Sony decides to put systems on shelves, when they can, when they force an influx of systems to certain regions, let's take a look at what happens and then extrapolate what will happen when all of these systems are available everywhere. And then factor in big holiday games like God of War Ragnarok. So bear in mind, this information is a year old, but I'm going to tie it all together because a year later, things aren't changing very much. In fact, it's history repeating itself. So let's unpack this. According to reports, the PlayStation 5 continues to dominate in the UK. In fact, the console almost outsold all other platforms on the market combined in the month of July. Despite ongoing supply constraints, the PlayStation 5 has continuously proven itself a powerhouse on the sales charts, quickly becoming the fastest selling console of all time. Let's unpack that before we continue. So, they got systems on store shelves. They outsold in one region almost all other consoles combined. Now, I'm all for services. I'm all for these new ways to gauge engagement. 30 million people turned on our game and tried it, and then maybe shut it off. We don't know how many purchased it, but 30 million engaged. Fine. That's wonderful. I'm more of a meat and potatoes type of guy. I'd rather have 15 million pay $70 to own it than 30 million turn it on and maybe then turn it off and never care about the franchise or characters again, because to me, that's not the way you build out worlds and characters, by having people just try it and maybe, turn it off. Spending, owning, buying, investing, that's the important thing to me. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. But now we see when PlayStation 5s are available, people are buying them in large clips. Now you might say to yourself, well, how many Xbox Series X's were available in the UK? How many Xbox Series S's were available? And what about Nintendo Switch? I don't really want to talk about the Switch here because the Switch is dominating everyone, and rightfully so. Nintendo is the greatest gaming company on the planet, in the cosmos probably. They're probably aliens somewhere right now playing the Switch. But the Xbox Series S is readily available. The Series X's are becoming more and more available also. Let's go back to the beginning of this video. Xbox is doing much better than Xbox ever has, but the PlayStation 5 is going to dominate when the PlayStation 5 is available. This is why you're seeing reports that PlayStation 5 stock is ramped up for September, October, November, and December. Because Sony is getting ready to talk. They're getting ready to have a show in September probably. They're getting ready to showcase their big first-party game for the holiday, God of War Ragnarok, and they want to make sure that stock is on the shelves so that people can buy them. And the experiment here is the UK. Stock's available, and they outsell almost every other system. Let's go back to this article. The latest data shows the momentum may not come to a halt anytime soon. Recently, Sony Interactive Entertainment revealed that PlayStation 5 has reached 10 million units sold worldwide as of July 8th, 2021, folks. 10 million as of July 2021. A year later, where are we? Probably closer to 20 million, outpacing the sales of every other piece of PlayStation hardware before it. Software sales for first-party games, either PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 titles, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales crossed 6.5 million copies sold. That's back in July of last year, folks, the publisher divulged. Meanwhile, Insomniac Games' PS5 exclusive Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, my personal favorite and the best looking console game, period, so far, so far this generation, managed to move approximately 1.1 million units within just over a month. And Housemarque's roguelike adventure, Returnal, topped 560,000 in global sales, which isn't great, I don't think, for a new IP, but Returnal is incredibly difficult. I love the world and I love the character. I want to explore more, but I suck at the game. July 2021 saw PlayStation 5 dominate the UK yet again. According to word from head of games industry biz, Christopher Dring, PS5's UK sales for the month of July resulted in it selling almost as many consoles as every other platform on the market combined. Now, why is this year-old article important today? Well, because in June of this year in the UK, the PlayStation 5 comes in at number 1, 2% from May 2022, 2.5 million games sold. Horizon Forbidden West, an exclusive, is at number 8. And folks, this isn't pack-ins. This is digital and physical sales of individual games. Pack-ins are not included in this. Let me say it again for the folks in the back. Pack-ins, the PlayStation 5 system with Horizon Forbidden West included, is not included in this chart. Individual sales, people actually purchasing Horizon Forbidden West, the game is number 8 for the month. So let's go through what the top 20 best-selling games are for the month, digitally and physically. Number 1 is FIFA 22. Number 1 is F1 22, and number 2 is FIFA 22. Number 3, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Number 4, who in their right mind is still buying Grand Theft Auto 5? Number 5 is The Quarry. Great game, great DualSense support if you have a PlayStation 5. Number 6, Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't understand it. Number 7, Nintendo Switch Sports. Great game to play with family and friends. The bowling is fun. And number 8, Horizon Forbidden West. Number 9, a Nintendo IP, Mario Strikers Battle League Football. And number 10, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So why is last year's information about the PlayStation 5 being put on store shelves important in this video in 2022? Because it's history repeating itself, folks. Horizon Forbidden West, a first-party title, is selling, not in bundles, individual copies. It isn't people turning it on and turning it off, and we're counting them. It's great metric if that's what Microsoft is into. I'm not discounting it. I just personally don't think it's a great way to gauge success or a great way to build a franchise and players who appreciate a franchise. Much more important to get them to spend, to invest, because once they invest themselves, then you're invested with that world and characters. And once PlayStation gets consoles to store shelves, they're going to sell out just like they did last year in the UK and just like they did this month in the UK again. Now you might be saying to yourself after all of this, well, that's just one region. What about Japan? Xbox sold more than PlayStation in Japan for 2 months. 2 months in a row. Not for entire years, but 2 months in a row. Well, that's fantastic. I'm not discounting that either. PlayStation is around 2 million units sold in Japan right now. And the Xbox, both the Series S and the X, is around 250,000. Better than any Xbox ever. If you're gauging that success based upon Xbox, comparing it to itself, much better. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not jump to the conclusion that PlayStation is somehow in trouble in Japan or anywhere else in the world because Xbox is selling better in Japan. Be happy that Xbox is selling better in Japan. I am. Maybe they'll get some more Japanese support, and maybe the audience that never supported those Japanese games. And no, I'm not talking about you that bought all the Japanese games, because that's what I hear all the time. Well, I purchased those games. Guess what? So did I on the Xbox. But you and I don't make up the world and don't make up a market. There's much more support on the PlayStation and the Nintendo for those types of titles than there's ever been on the Xbox. But maybe because it's selling better in Japan, they'll get more. And I hope that happens. But let me sum up this video by saying, once stock is on shelves, I fully expect the PlayStation to outsell the Xbox and maybe even the Switch if Nintendo's first party and Microsoft's first party aren't on store shelves, and Sony's first party is. And we know God of War Ragnarok will be, and whatever else they're cooking up for this generation, I'm sure is going to be pretty incredible and help the PlayStation 5 sell many, many units. So that's the video. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.